Many investors lose money in mining stocks because they buy the hype, chase the momentum, sell at a loss, and then they repeat the cycle. The crucial ingredient to success is knowing their value. Today, I'll show you a step-by-step valuation framework for gold producers, developers, and explorers. I will introduce my unique VPM multiple and also grade-adjusted enterprise value multiples to help give you an edge over Wall Street analysts. If you want to stop guessing and start investing with confidence, this is for you. Let's start with the obvious question. Why does valuation matter? Mining stocks are speculative by nature. Their prices swing with gold, market sentiment, and news headlines. Many investors just chase price moves. This inevitably leads to a buying high and selling low. But successful investors focus on value. They have an idea about what a company is really worth based on its assets, costs, and growth potential. When done right, they can buy low and sell high. Without a valuation framework, you're flying blind. With one, you can separate hype from real opportunity. Let me introduce to you the LaSonde Curve, one of the most powerful tools in mining investing. Pierre Lassonde, a legend in the gold industry, noticed that mining companies follow a predictable cycle over their mining life. From exploration to development and production, the value doesn't move in a straight line. It moves in waves. There are two stages where the biggest gains happen: when an explorer confirms his first deposit, and when a developer builds his first mine and pours gold. These are inflection points where a company's value can multiply. Knowing where a company sits on the LaSonde curve can let you take a position before the market does. I don't think they capture the company's operating profile and risk. So I created my own method, the valuation to profit margin, or the VPM multiple. Here's how it works. Start with the enterprise value. This is the market value of the company's capital, net of cash. Adjust production by all-in sustaining costs, or the AISC. This levels the playing field between high-cost and low-cost producers. Calculate the company's operating margins, or the difference between what it sells its gold for and the cost to produce them. Then you compare the company's enterprise value to its cost-adjusted profit margin. As an example, Regis Resources produced 352,000 ounces of gold at an all-in sustaining cost of $1,246. And Resolute Mining produced 395,000 ounces at an all-in sustaining cost of $1,563. Even though Resolute produced more, Regis was actually more profitable per ounce. My VPM multiple captures that difference, showing Regis Resources was actually the stronger investment. So we just value producers. What about explorers and developers? They don't produce gold, so you can't use the VPM multiple. Valuing these companies require you to look at what's beneath the ground. And here's the secret. Not every ounce of gold is equal, whether it's production or what's beneath the ground. So how do we tackle this problem? Stick with us, as I'll cover that in this section. Let's bring this all together in a case study using Silver Lake Resources. In 2021, Silver Lake Resources produced around 245,000 ounces at an all-in sustaining cost of $1,450, selling gold at $2,400. Using my VPM multiple, the fair value range worked out at just about $1.33 to $2.22 a share. At that time, Silver Lake Resources was trading in the middle of that range, meaning it was fairly valued. In the next 2 years, the share price fluctuated between 81 cents to $2.20 as a bear market ravaged the sector. However, the VPM multiple would help you from chasing rallies and dumping when the company was out of favor. You would have made the right moves and ended up with higher returns. This is the power of having a framework. You don't need to guess whether the stock is cheap or expensive. You have a system to anchor your decisions. You also do not let market sentiment cause you to stray from a winning strategy. Now that we covered the producers, let's go to the explorers and developers. Valuing these companies is notoriously difficult. They aren't producing, and what's beneath the ground is speculative. Geologists are guessing the size, grade, and quality of the deposits. Engineers devise plans to build infrastructure to extract the resources. And financial analysts project the mine's potential profitability. There is a lot of guesswork involved. The most common method for analysts to value these companies is to consider the amount of resources and reserves in the ground. They then estimate the value using the enterprise value to resource or enterprise value to reserves multiples. These multiples seem straightforward enough, but suffer from a major flaw. They treat every ounce in the ground as the same, and in reality, they're not. Ore close to the surface is far more valuable than ore deep beneath the surface. Then there is the grade, or concentration of minerals lodged in a rock. A higher grade is obviously more attractive. Mining analysts would calculate these multiples and try to compare companies with deposits of different quality, grade included. But why not just weave some of these factors into the multiple? Well, that's what I do with my metric. I make a simple adjustment. I include the ore grade into the calculation, calling it a grade-adjusted enterprise value multiple. This multiple helps to distinguish a mining company's deposits by its quality. For example, Ausgold had millions of ounces at just 1 gram per ton. Meanwhile, Mika Metals had fewer ounces, but at 3 grams per ton. Now, on paper, Ausgold looked cheaper, but adjusting for grade, Mika Metals was a better value. Without this adjustment, you would come to a different conclusion. Now, my metric is not without its flaws. It does not solve the problem of how to value these companies, but it takes us closer, which matters in such a speculative space. So, let me wrap up this video on how to value gold mining companies. Start with the LaSonde Curve to know the relative value of mining companies at different stages. Apply the VPM multiple for producers. Use grade-adjusted enterprise value multiples for explorers and developers. Compare the multiples against peer companies and over time to identify which companies may be over or undervalued. Now, valuation is both an art and a science, but with these tools, you could catch the best opportunities while avoiding paying too much for companies that the market might be crowding into. In the next video, we'll zoom in on explorers and early-stage developers. You learned about how to value them, but we'll discuss how to increase your chances of making potentially life-changing gains in this space. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe to our channel, and join us for the coming videos. Thank you, and God bless.